A very warm welcome to UCTV. Well, this is the Insurance Week special, and I'm so glad to have you with me as we discuss some of the fundamental things that are affecting the insurance in Uganda. My name is Nora Osinde, and I'm going to take you through. Today we have a special guest from a rather special insurance company that's going to highlight some of the details of what's happening in the insurance world, break it down to, the layman's language and to the common man down there, so as we can understand what insurance is all about. At times we get driven away when we think that insurance is actually somewhere out there in the cloud. And everyone who talks about insurance makes it seem like, it's a place for a group of people, let's say the elite class. Well, today that is not that. We are going to narrow it down so that everyone can understand what insurance is all about. And I'm so glad to have with me in studio, well, the business development manager, that is Sally Enoch Timothy. You're very welcome. Nice to have you.
Good to see you.
Well, you can start by just introduce to us yourself again and just tell us what you do.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you, our viewers, and thank you, Nora, for hosting me today. Timothy Enoch Sally is my name. I'm in charge of business development at Pax Insurance Company, and I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you, Timothy, really. The first things first.
Yes.
We've had insurance, and we just need to understand, what is insurance? Break it down. What is insurance all about?
Thank you, Nora. I would want to break it in the layman's language. Basically, insurance is covering whatever you think needs to have protection against any financial loss or material damage. So basically, we are looking at covering all the risks that are associated with your financial interest, because part of the principles of insurance is for something to be protected, you must have a financial interest in it, what we would call insurable interest, because you do not want to lose money, or you do not want to have any financial loss once anything is affected to that kind of, I would call it property. Mm-hmm. So basically, insurance in a nutshell is like that.
All right.
You're protecting your financial interest.
You're protecting financial interest.
Yeah.
And this applies to any sector, across the board.
Across the board.
So how does this work, really?
You basically look at getting indemnified at a stage where you've suffered a loss. I'll give you an example. If you have a motor vehicle, you've used money to buy it. Mm-hmm. For example, you've bought it 20 million. At a later time, God forbid, it is going to be involved in an accident. Now, we need to indemnify you. We need to put you back in the same position you are in before the accident happened.
Right.
Now, that is basically insurance. So we are trying to protect the unknown. It will give you a peace of mind at the end of the day, to know that if anything ever happens, any financial loss that would occur to me at a certain point, insurance is going to come and compensate me. So it is a promise. Much as we believe in God and we have religion, however much we need to protect the things that we treasure,
right,
for any loss that would happen in the future. So basically, in the layman's language, that is it.
So it's all about protecting, and making sure that in case there is a loss, there is compensation.
Yes.
And those are some of the importances of insurance. What do you think is important? Why is it important for people to get insured besides that?
It will give you peace of mind. Trust me, Nora, if you're out there and you're seated and for example, for people that are dealing in logistics and transportation, you've tried to invest so much in this infrastructure, and the next thing you know, you're worried about what is going to happen to your property or whatever you invested in. So we are saying, look here, it is going to give you a peace of mind to know that in case of any loss that I'm going to suffer in the future, I'm not aware I'm not aware of what is going to happen, but I'm trying to protect the unknown for any financial loss. So I would feel at peace to know that insurance is going to come and compensate me at the end of the day if I suffer the loss. That is one use. Then the other use that we can look at is we tried to mitigate so many risks at the end of the day, because everyone has that financial interest in something and would want to protect it so that you continue. I would call it a going concern. You have a going concern. You're going to get whatever you've invested in, a return on investment at the end of the day. But look at a point where something is going to happen to your investment and you do not have surety that you're going to be indemnified at the end of the day. So insurance comes in to give you peace of mind and also to put you back in the place that you would have been before the incident happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Very important there. So there's a peace of mind, and then you're sure that, at the end of the day, I still, my business or whatever I've assured will actually be restored.
Yeah.
Now, I just want us to go back to where you're from, and that is Pax Insurance.
Sure.
Yeah. Tell us more about Pax.
Wow. It is a brand that I associate myself with, and every time I talk about it, I feel, I should say, I put a smile on my face. Mm-hmm. Now, Pax Insurance is a company that has been in the insurance business for the last 16 years. We've been established since 2008, and we've been privileged to practice what we know best for the last 16 years. Mm-hmm. The shareholders are the Catholic dioceses in Uganda, the 19 of them, and other shareholders. So it is owned by the Catholic Church. I think it gives you reason why we have to first come and celebrate the Insurance Week with Uganda Catholic Television. And we are located at Christ the King Building, Platinum House. We deal in non-life. This insurance has I would call two sectors. It has the non-life, that is the property, engineering risks, the likes of the motor go in there. And then we have the life bit. Now, Pax Insurance does non-life business. We'd call it general business. Then the other companies deal in non-life. Now, we do not do medical and we do not do life. So our main focus is on a non-life business.
Okay.
We've managed to grow on average around 32% for the last 4 years. We are a solid company. We have better, I'd call them reinsurance arrangements that for every capacity we can handle.
Talk about capacity now that you're talking about Pax and how you can handle any capacity, which really it sounds very interesting. I would like us to know, what are the coverages that you have as Pax, really?
Wow, interesting. Part of the coverages that we have, or the entire, I would call it the entire sector of non-life products, we have them.
Yes.
We start with the motor comprehensive insurance, that one we have. Mm-hmm. I would break them in two classes. The first class would be engineering risks. Now, this one is towards, I would call them risks that are associated with engineering. Mm-hmm. Look at people that are constructing roads. Now, that is engineering. We have a policy we call contractors or risks. We have what you call electronic equipment. For people that deal in massive data management, we have policies that go under there. Then what we call accidents. Now, we have personal accidents. For people that have employees and you're employing more than 5 people, you're owed by the laws of Uganda to give them workman compensation. Now, these are policies that are going to protect the employees that you're employing in case of any unknown or unforeseen incidences and they are injured while at work. Mm-hmm. They are going to be covered and compensated. We also have what we call liability policies, the likes of public liability. For everyone who is doing business out there and the public is highly involved in your business, there's what we call third-party liabilities. At any one point, people are going to come and claim from your business. So we have to have protection for that. I'll give you an example. For people that are owning buildings, you have 2 policies you're supposed to take on. Now, that is fire. It goes under the property class. Mm-hmm. And then you have public liability. Just imagine one of those days if your lift or someone is cleaning your building, mm-hmm. and they slide off the stairs. Now, that is the public that is involved. Someone would go to court and would want to be compensated because he got injured while he's at your building. So we have quite a number of products. that we want the public to be interested in, but not forgetting we even do the simple ones, the third-party insurance. We also do the motor comprehensive insurance. I think everyone knows motor comprehensive insurance, basically covering your entire car, apart from the third party.
Interesting.
Yeah.
As for example, as a farmer, where would you place me?
Interesting. Now we have what we call agriculture insurance.
Oh, okay.
Now agriculture insurance is practiced, I think, in almost at least 80% amongst the population of Uganda. Now agriculture insurance, we've managed to put a consortium, and Pax Insurance subscribes to it. It is called the Agro Consortium. Now, we managed to collect most of the insurance companies to be under one, I would call it umbrella, to handle agriculture insurance. And now Pax subscribes to it. So when you come to us about agriculture, we'll deal with you. But at the end of the day, I would use the term, it is underwritten by the consortium. And the government of Uganda also knows about it, because there are subsidies they give to farmers every time you buy agriculture insurance. It is basically to encourage farmers to have agriculture insurance. So you would also be covered.
Surely I would
be a face, but the other technicalities are going to be done by the Agro Consortium.
Surely I would be. Now, we have seen quite of a boom when it comes to the insurance industry in Uganda. Of late, people are getting to understand what insurance is all about, and due to some of the regulations that are going to be placed in place, we see that there's increased awareness of insurance, right? Why would I leave different insurance companies and zero down to Pax?
Good question. As Pax Insurance, we treasure what we would call operational excellency. I'll tell you, I think most of the times clients face what I would call non-payment of claims in different insurance companies. But with Pax Insurance, it is going to give you a peace of mind that for claims, as long as it is a payable claim, as long as it is a payable compensation, Pax Insurance will make sure they pay you. Because we have a service charter, a customer service charter, and for claims that we pay that are below 1 million, we pay them within 48 hours. For any claims that are above, or I would call them compensation, that is above 5 million, we'd look at maximum of 72 hours. So our claims experience is the best, I'll tell you that. And the other reason why you would want to subscribe to Pax Insurance is our products are tailored to the customer needs. Much as insurance is conventional in nature, but we try to understand the market that we are in. A client is going to come and he wants to have a product that is going to satisfy himself or herself, and Pax Insurance is ready to have such kind of a product tailored towards your needs. So those are some of the things, and we make sure we give back to our clients in terms of customer, I'd call it corporate responsibility, corporate social responsibility. So at the end of the day, we want the public to understand how insurance is, and at the end of the day, we still want the public to benefit from our services. So we've tried to do a couple of things. We do quite a lot of trainings to border riders. Believe me, you Nora, every time you step out of your house, when you're driving, you know one thing, a border man is going to come and knock my car. So we try to do a lot of sensitization to these guys, because it is an emerging risk and it is an industry that is growing. We cannot live without it. So we try to do a lot, both to the public and to our customers. So you'll have a peace of mind when you come to Pax Insurance.
Well,
service delivery.
Well, you have assured me, and I hope I'll get those services. But no doubt, with everything that you're saying, I feel like yes, Pax is doing tremendously, and carrying on forward in a very good way. My wonder is, what are some of the new things in the insurance industry that you guys are bringing on board?
Wow, interesting question. Now the insurance industry is ever evolving, and we believe we are in an evolving world.
Right.
Now, part of the things that are really growing so much in the insurance industry, one is the microinsurance. We are in the market where people want to be sure they can pay at least 5,000 on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis, and to enjoy insurance services. So insurance companies have come out to tailor products that are going to be towards the environment that we're in, the economic and social environment that we're in, where someone can get a policy on a monthly basis. And this is going to cover maybe medical at the end of the day, or maybe cover bodily injury, or maybe cover future unknowns. So microinsurance is growing so much, and it is a way to go. And
on a monthly basis.
On a monthly
so
basis.
It doesn't have to wait until...
On annual basis, no, you don't really need to.
Oh, okay.
Because most of the products have been tailored to accommodate, I would call, an everyday person. Pay 5,000 today on a weekly basis, enjoy the services. Because we want to move away from the fact that people think, like you said in the beginning, insurance is for the elite. No, insurance is for everyone, and it is affordable.
And we all need it.
And we all need it. Yeah.
So, besides what else is on board besides what you just talked about?
There's also bank assurance. Now, bank assurance, it has come in the sense that you can now enjoy insurance services through the bank.
Right.
It has actually made our numbers grow so much and increase the penetration. So you can imagine walking into a bank and you can get your insurance service through a banking hall. So it is one of the new trends that are moving, and it has given us numbers because there's a way people trust the bank compared to an insurance company. They believe that if I go to a bank and buy my insurance there, the leverage I have with the bank is quite huge. So what the regulator decided is for every bank that has been licensed to be a bank assurance agent, you have a desk or you have a team that deals with insurance. Now, these insurance companies get the business from from the banks. So in return, it is a two-way lane. The insurance company benefits from the premiums, and now the bank assurance agent benefits from the commission. And we've tried to do so much collaborations to push all our brands through that distribution line. So it is one of the emerging things that is happening in the insurance industry.
Very nice, really very nice. We have the microinsurance, and then we have the bank assurance. I think those are very interesting developments, and I'm so glad that Pax Insurance is actually getting that on board. It is the Insurance Week, and we are basically breaking down what insurance is all about. Insurance in Uganda sometimes may seem a bit complicated, but it isn't. Now, Enoch here from Pax Insurance is actually giving us highlights and giving us details of the insurance industry, and specifically is also highlighting some of the details of what Pax Insurance is actually doing. We can't wait to dig more into what insurance is all about, the Insurance Week, and we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back. It is the Insurance Week, and this is the Insurance Special with me, Nora Osende. Today we are delighted to host a gentleman from Pax Insurance, Mr. Sally Enoch Timothy, who is telling us and breaking down everything about insurance. After the show, I can assure you, if you're not yet insured, you better run to Pax, right?
Very true. We'll be waiting to service
as we were discussing, there was a lot of information that came through as we were telling us about insurance and then all these details. Something that struck me is when you talked about data, electronic data insurance, really. How does that work? What does that entail, really?
Wow, I think my first customer would be UCTV.
Exactly.
Okay, now, in insurance, we have what we call electronic equipment. Now, it has sections of material damage, increased cost of working, and data and media storage. So for companies that are dealing in a lot of data, we are in the digital world, And some of these machines that we have at any one point T are going to crash. It is going to put you back. Just imagine if the data you've stored for quite some time, you wake up one day and you no longer have it. Meaning you have to invest in more money to buy more equipment and you've lost the data. So what this policy basically covers is we may not buy the data for you, but we are going to compensate you for what you've lost. In real terms, we are going to give you money to make sure. We do not know how you do your business, but you know you're going to get the money to buy more equipment or to buy the same equipment that is going to keep your data better in the near future. And the other section you have under material damage, we believe there are times when you're going to have a short circuit. And the next thing you know, some of these equipment are going to be destroyed by the power surge. So under that policy, an extension is taken towards the material damage of this equipment, and we cover basically the power surge that could happen. Because some of these things, you get a short circuit and the entire machine is gone.
Right.
And it is very expensive. So that kind of policy or product basically covers for people that are into that kind of business. You look at the computers, they're going to be covered. You're going to have forced entry into a building, God forbid, and the next thing you know, guys are going to take your cameras. So we need to compensate you, we need to indemnify you and put you back in the same position that you were in before the incidents happened. So it is a good product for whoever is dealing in large data management and for those that have a lot of equipment. For example, people dealing in photography, people doing digital transformation, people handling data centers. Everyone needs that kind of policy as long as you're dealing with data.
As long as you're dealing with data.
Yes.
You need it.
You need it.
Yes. According to what you've said, it's very important, especially now that, we have all sorts of, online crimes. Does that also involve that?
Yeah, true, because there's what also we call cyber insurance. It is not so much known in Uganda, but it is a policy that is picking up of late.
Right.
And PAX has the capacity to handle that. Because we've been in, I would call it a digital world. And everyone is using the digital platforms to do different things. Some people are fraudulent on those platforms. Others want to do money laundering. So especially the financial institutions are the most or the biggest target towards that. So there's also a policy we call cyber insurance or cyber security insurance. We give it to you. It has quite a number of sections that it covers. But once you come to PAX Insurance, we'll get all the information and give you a quotation for it, especially financial institutions, because they're prone to it.
Then let's go back to the commonly known insurances, right? The ones of business. Give us a brief about that.
Now, for anyone owning business, it depends on the type of business you're in. For those that are dealing in production or manufacturing, we totally have a different type of policy for them. And you'll find there's medium-sized enterprises. We also have a different package for them. However, the most common thing is to cover the financial interest of all these businesses. So imagine you've invested over 100 million in production, and the next thing you know, you're using machines. Now these machines, at a certain point, they will crash or they'll break down. Now we have a policy we call machinery breakdown, because if they break down, you won't be able to produce, and meaning the demand is there and you're not able to produce. So insurance companies have decided to create a policy or to have a policy that is going to cover most of the people that are in manufacturing and production. And we have sections again in it. We have business interruption in there. We have machinery breakdown. Then we have machinery breakdown, loss of profits. So we put it under one policy and we call it Industrial Aubrey 6. It is like a fire policy, but with different sections in it.
Okay.
So no matter the investment that you've put on, or put out to the people, believe me, at a certain point, something is going to happen. So we would want you to cover the uncertainties, the unforeseen circumstances on all your things that you've invested in.
Talking about all things, there's a motto comprehensive coverage. And that is something that is very common.
True.
How do you guys work that out at Parks Insurance?
Parks Insurance. Wow, we have a good product with Parks Insurance. Just actually to take you back a bit, now motor contributes over, I think, 40% of the entire gross written premiums in the entire industry. Because I believe it is the most common insurance that everyone knows. For people that have cars, I would urge you out there, the first thing you think of should be motor comprehensive insurance, because the benefits around it are huge. First of all, we cover the accidental damage, and then we cover third-party liabilities. Now, for accidental for accidental damage, we look at the car itself. Imagine you're involved in an accident, we cover your car, and we cover you, the driver. And again, if you've knocked someone out there who is a third party, we also cover the third parties. So you have a policy that is going to cover your car, the driver, and again extend to cover the third party liabilities. So who wouldn't want to protect their car like that, really?
Well,
so it is something very
really
interesting, very true.
Yes.
So as Parks Insurance, we come in to give you an enhanced product of motor comprehensive insurance. Apart from covering the third-party liabilities and covering the accidental damage, we've now extended it to cover political violence. Everyone would believe that we are going for elections.
Political violence?
Yes.
I would love to hear that.
So basically, we want to cover, I'll give you a scenario. Riots and commotions happen.
Yes.
All the time. We pray this time around in 2026 they don't happen. But we want to think outside the box and say, what is going to happen at the end of the day if someone is dissatisfied with the results? The next thing you know, they're going to burn cars. We've seen those things happen. Now, these are political related incidences. Under a normal policy, they wouldn't be covered. But if you buy motor comprehensive insurance from Parks Insurance, we are extending it to cover the political violence and sabotage.
Okay.
So it is an extension that we give to our policyholders as an enticement to the product.
So is this limited to basically the cars?
No, we extend it across.
My building has been hit by stones.
Yeah.
You know?
We extend it to cover.
Oh, okay.
But we'll charge you a certain premium depending on how big the car is or what is the value of the car.
Interesting.
But we usually extend it to cover political violence.
Okay, we shall get back to the premium a little bit. We're talking about the companies, the data, and then we talked about the cars. What about the homes?
Wow.
What do we have for the homes?
I know someone out there has built their home, and they would want to protect it.
Yes.
Now, insurance has a cover we call fire domestic or house owners policy. Now, this one also has sections in it. It covers the building, the structure itself. Then it extends to cover the content inside. Now, the content could be furniture, could be fittings, could be curtains, could be chairs, it could be so many things, even shoes, you can imagine, and clothes. Then again, it extends to cover what I would call all basics. Now, the all basics are the electronics, the TV, your laptop, your iPad, your phone, your anything that uses power. And again, it extends to cover, I would call them house helpers, to cover their bodily injury while at work. So everyone who has a home out there, it is not limited to those that are renting. No, even those that are renting, we can decide to cover the content inside that house. So we extend the cover to everyone, those renting and those at home structures. So it is a cover that anyone would want.
What if there is it anyone at home?
Yeah.
Specifically, you don't have to really zero down on only the house help?
No, even anyone that helps around with the domestic chores really can come through.
Oh, there's a category that says, well, my dog will get injured.
Strictly humans.
Strictly humans, yes. Not the cat, not the dog.
Not the cat, not the dog. No pets.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So there are are a lot of people out there, especially Ugandans, that tag insurance to it being very costly and being unaffordable. And partly because insurance over time has been peddled as something that not every man can actually get. You understand? And so when we talk about insurance, some people really want to understand about the costing. I just want to go back to how do you give us a view, an overview about your costing and prices when it comes to some of the policies.
Wow, I think after this session, people will believe insurance is actually affordable. We've been privileged to be in the tariff market. Now, the insurance industry in Uganda is a tariff market. We have the Insurance Regulatory Authority up there. So it gives you what we call minimum rates to charge. But under the minimum rates, it gives you an allowance to do a lot of discounts. So it is affordable, but you will only understand how affordable is if you walked into Pax Insurance. Because right now, every property, every car, every business, they all have different ratings. Some I have off head, like the motor car. I'll tell you we do a rate of 4% of the value of the car, but again it has some other discounts. For example, if you have a tracking device on it, and if you have an alarm in it, and if you have a fleet, it also extends to have discounts. So you will only understand that insurance is affordable if you walked into an insurance company and asked for a quotation. But it is a tariff market. You're not going to find people that are going to undercharge, because the regulator will come running to you, because they have set standards and rates. We'd call them minimum rates. They are the rates that are guiding us throughout our business. So you will only understand how we charge, not until you come to an insurance industry and ask for a quotation. So it is a discussion you can have on another platform. But right now, I cannot give you an overview of this type of car will pay this kind of money. As long as you have the value of the car, you'd come and we do a quotation, and then you can understand how much you're going to pay. Even other classes of business.
Okay. I've had several times how people complain about, getting your compensation is a daunting task.
I know.
It's very nice when we are talking about insurance, and once it happens, some people, according to experience, they say it is a daunting task to get your compensation. How are you handling that as Pax Insurance?
Thank you, Nora. It is actually one of the reasons why the regulator decided to organize the Insurance Week, is to dig deep down and try to understand how compensation is done. For everyone out there, insurance companies pay. I'll tell you that, because we are highly regulated and our regulatory framework is strict on non-compensation. However, I would like the public to understand that we only pay if it is a payable claim. For example, I'll give you an example of motor comprehensive. We all know it is against the traffic rules and regulations to drive while intoxicated. So someone is involved in an accident and a police report comes out and says you were highly intoxicated and you're on the road. When you come to an insurance company to claim, we do not operate above the law. At that point, we are not going to compensate you because the police report is saying otherwise. So people get the narrative that insurance companies don't pay because they have not been able to satisfy their demands. And again, they don't get paid because you've not submitted certain documentations. Like any other business, we need to prove to know that actually this accident happened.
For example, what kind of documentations might you need?
For example, for a motor comprehensive, we would want to know, to have the claim pictures, to understand. You said your bumper was stolen. Take a picture, give to the insurance company. We would want to get repair quotations. How much the guys that are going to do repairs on that car, how much are they asking? We would want to know, do you have a valid driving permit? Some people just go on the road because they know how to drive, but again, it is against the law if you do not have a valid driving permit. Now, under such circumstances, if you've not submitted all that, it is really hard for compensation. So people get frustrated along the way of how they're going to be compensated. But with Pax Insurance, we've come out to sensitize people, and we've made it a mandate to us on the digital platforms that you can submit all these documentations online, and we can actually pay your claim as long as it is valid. So we are fighting so much on the fraudulent claims that come, and that is why some people have the narrative that insurance companies do not pay. And guess what? The insurance industry, the Insurance Regulatory Authority has come out to put a complaints bureau, and on top of that, an insurance tribunal. If you feel that the insurance company has not compensated due to your satisfaction, you have to complain. The channels are there. Go to the Insurance Regulatory Authority, log in a complaint, then after you will sit down with the insurance company and try to find out what exactly went wrong. If anything has failed at that stage, you're free now to move to the tribunal. Now the tribunal will also decide. Maybe you'll get paid from there, but you must build a good case. If it is upon the insurance company and it is their fault that they have not paid you, again, they will be sanctioned by the regulator. So the modes of compensation are there, well stipulated.
All right.
And with Pax Insurance, our service charter is out there on our website. So for anything that you feel did not go the way you wanted it to go, we have room to discuss. So we do not want to operate in the sandbox that we cannot divert away from, some of these things. We are people, you are human. If you present a good case, if it is not against the law, you'll be compensated.
So how long does it take, the duration averagely, before someone can actually get a compensation and all this is cleared?
Wow, that's an interesting question, Nora. Every class of insurance has its own timelines. For example, for a motor car, if it has been stolen, we need to go through the processes, try to get the investigation report, look at the assessors, what are they saying, where was it stolen. We are not going to just pay because it was stolen.
Right.
So that one would take quite some time. Then there are those where a side mirror has been taken. Those are quick. Or a windshield has been broken. Those are quick. So we have timelines for each magnitude of a claim. Like I said, for anything that is below 1 million, Pax Insurance is ready to pay within 24 to 48 hours. Anything that is above 10 million or 15 million would want you to give us at least 5 working days so that we understand. Then we shall go back to policies like Fidelity Guarantee that covers, errors of omission. It covers infidelity at work. People have stolen money. We need to investigate and get to know how was this money stolen, who was involved. So that will take longer compared to a motor claim. So the magnitude and the severity of the claim really decides.
So it's all about the severity and magnitude and, each coverage has its own probably time depending on what has taken place. The other thing is that how do you handle complaints as Pax really? Because I know when it comes to insurance companies, I know you must be having complaints naturally because of the nature of the work that you do, the nature of the business that you do.
True.
And that can actually strike the difference between, you being the IT company, insurance company, or like, I'm thinking twice about this. How do you guys go about it?
Well, good one. With Pax Insurance, I would tell our viewers out there that we have what we call an open door policy. For anything that you're not satisfied with in terms of our compensation, would want to hear from you. You see, some of the times the people that buy insurance say, as we sit back in SC and just wait not to pay. So insurance, the insurance week is here, especially when you visit our tent. We have customer experience officers that are out there and they want to handle all your complaints. I would be on record and say, as of today, Pax Insurance does not have any complaints. But for those that have come in, we've handled them because we believe in solving issues amicably, so that we want to use our clients for future reference in case we want to bring on board other clients. So our policy is open door. For if you're not satisfied with our compensation, you just need to come back to us we sit down on table and agree on a few things, as long as the claim is payable.
As long as the claim is payable.
We do not operate above the law.
Well, I know that is very interesting. Surely we are digging into the insurance industry in Uganda. Enoch is from Pax Insurance and is highlighting and giving us details. Right before we're about to actually close our show and our discussion. But before we do that, I would like Enoch to tell us, why would I leave all these insurance company and zeroed out to Pax Insurance?
You see, Pax Insurance has, we'd call it slogan, perfect peace. We'd want to have perfect peace at the end of the day.
Of course.
Because we want you to feel at home. We are extending an olive oil and saying, for whatever you're going through, please calm down. We are going to handle. Our operation excellence is high, and we would want to make you feel at home. So Pax Insurance could be the best company that you'd want to come and enjoy the services of insurance. We believe you'll have a good time with us.
Well, you've heard it from the horse's mouth, and Enoch has given us details and made us feel comfortable not only about insurance but also about Pax Insurance, and we're so glad that we had the opportunity to discuss with you. Thank you so much for being here, thank you so much for giving us those highlights about the insurance industry in Uganda as well as Pax Insurance. It has been a delight really having you on the show. My name is Nora Osende, and I'm glad that we have spent this much time with you as we're discussing the Insurance Week. Do have a wonderful week ahead.
Thank you.